joined by Morgan Donahue to talk some TVL sports, and we also got the playoff and softball brackets out. We'll talk a little bit about those, but first, Morgan, how are you?
Tom, I am terrific. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure and the best time of year. It's playoffs. I love all the playoffs, fall, winter, spring, but the spring action, the playoffs, nice weather, it doesn't get more exciting than this.
Absolutely. And we got a lot of good storylines to talk about and the playoff seedings. So we'll get right into it. All right. Well, our first storyline, all kinds of great things happening with Medfield girls lacrosse. You had alum Alex Blake and Kelly Blake in the Final Four in the NCAA Final Four against each other. Last year, it was Kelly Blake and BC taking the title. And this year, it was Alex Blake and Northwestern going to the title game where they fell short to North Carolina. Morgan, any memories of the Blake sisters?
Oh gosh, yeah. They were terrific. I mean, when both of them were on Medfield, they were formidable. And they're playing at, two of the very best. Shout out to Northwestern. What a comeback win they had over BC in the semifinals. And the North, they ended up playing North Carolina in the championship. That North Carolina team was incredible. But I got to give a shout out to Mass Elite. It's the program that a lot of these girls play in addition to high school, run by Meredith Frank and Leslie Frank from Westwood, who started this. They had 88 players in the NCAA tournament from basically Division I, Division II, Division III girls college lacrosse, all from the Mass Elite program. And both Alex and Kelly, I believe, both part of that, but tremendous athletes. And there's been a number of different players in the TVL that have gone through those terrific schools, and they were terrific to watch, and they helped bring some state championships to Medfield. I remember watching that over the years.
Absolutely, and a couple landmarks reached. Medfield head coach Mary Lapta, her 100th career win. Wow. And then you had Kendall Herrick, 300 career points this year for the Medfield Warriors. So some great milestones there.
Absolutely. 300 career points. That is incredible when you have to do the math. Like, she clearly played as a freshman, but then putting up consistent points across the board for 4 years. Incredible story. Mary Lofna, one of Westwood's own. Her mom is the assistant AD. She's going to be stepping down this year with as Matt Gillis is retiring. She will be retiring too, but exceptional woman at Westwood High School. She's the girls tennis coach as well. So terrific family in town, and congratulations to them.
And Morgan, we always talk about how dominant Medfield is in the TVL small. Well, here you go. In addition to the girls lacrosse title, they also won the TVL small boys lacrosse title, TVL small tennis title on the boys side, and the TVL small track and field title on the boys side. So Medfield impressive once again, and what great athletic programs they got.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just every sport they play, they're in it for a TVL championship and fighting for it, and are most likely the favorite too. Medfield boys lacrosse, I don't see them not winning the state championship this year. They were a terrific team, just like they were last year. They won it, by a lot last year. They actually had the game at Westwood High School, and I believe they're gonna be too much to handle for the rest of the teams in Division III. And just like the other team, not surprised. When I see tennis on there and I see boys track and field, just terrific athletes. I'm sure similar to Westwood, the track and field, you got a lot of athletes from other seasons that join forces during the track and field season, in addition to some of the cross country runners. And it's just a formidable team you get when you get the spring track and field and all these athletes together. Just and when it's a town like Medfield, it's just a bunch of great athletes, competitors, and winners.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did it on a day that was loaded with Hiller sports, so I couldn't attend this year. But a great event as always, and that event took place in Norton. And speaking of Norton, a couple great milestones for them. On the girls lacrosse side, Ellie Lyons, 200 goals for Norton. And then on the softball side, 200 wins for the head coach of Norton, who has just been tremendous. Wade Lazat, what a great softball program they got over there.
Wow. I mean, congrats to Ellie. Incredible. 200 goals is very, very, distinct company. Caroline Nazalillo this year in Westwood, she scored 250th goal. CC Thurman scored her 100th. And I was just looking back at 250 goals. I was trying to do the math, and it's astronomical, when you look at how many you have to score per game to reach that milestone. But incredible, accomplishment by Ellie. And then 200 wins. Tom, I got to say, too, you've seen Norton play softball. I have seen them play. Westwood and Hopkinton had two great battles versus them. I believe Hopkinton came away with a 1-run win. Westwood had a close game, and they are outstanding team, well coached, a lot of tremendous talent on that team, and I'd imagine that they got to be the favorites to win the state championship in their division. So remarkable team they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't recall a year that program wasn't good. Speaking of good, 300 strikeouts for Addie Walls, the sophomore. Addie Walls, 300 strikeouts. Morgan, That's insane.
I got to call a game, and shout out Tom and HCAM for having me with the Westwood Hopkinton game. She was every bit as impressive as what I had heard from just colleagues. And Tom, she's just as impressive with a bat in her hand too. She's a remarkable talent, and she's, like you said, only a sophomore in the TVL. She's definitely got a very, very bright future ahead of her if she wants to play in college. But she's certainly going to be chasing after some state championships, I'm sure, with a very, very talented Hopkinton softball team.
Absolutely. And a couple great achievements for Millis, their boys volleyball program, just tremendous. Certainly one of the best around the area, but their senior captain, Henry Kiggin, captured his 1,000th career assist. Mohawks finished regular season 13-7, and they got the 16th seed in the Division II bracket. They should be highly competitive in the postseason. And then Millis girls tennis won 6 in a row. To get into the postseason. They started off a little rocky, but 6 wins to close out the season. Talk about going into the playoffs white hot.
Absolutely. So right off the bat, boys volleyball, Millis, it's a historical program, Tom. They've had it longer than, Westwood just had their first year this year. Hopkinton had their first year this year. And Medfield's had a team, I'm not sure how long, but Millis had a team when I was in high school. And and we're the same age, Tom, so graduates of 2005. And right before then, they were beaten. I think there was only one division for softball, or for volleyball. They won a state championship going up against the likes of Xaverian, these huge Division I schools. So an incredible historic program, and not surprising. I mean, shout out to Henry. 1,000 assists. You are an assist machine. That is Wayne Gretzky territory, and a heck of a, I'm sure, career. I'd imagine he's probably a senior. And then 6 in a row. There is the old adage, Tom. You do not want to play the team that is the hottest going into the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that had great seasons that might have had a cold finish to their year, but the teams that are going into the playoffs hot as a piston, like Millis tennis, those aren't the teams you want to play. Their confidence is on a high. They are just really starting to feel their game, and they got it done when it mattered the most. When their season's life was on the line, they got, rifled off 6 in a row to get in the playoffs. So shout out to them. Amazing accomplishment. I'm sure they're going to do some damage come playoffs, which start today.
And you're going to like this one. How about those Westwood Wolverines, the boys lacrosse team, TVL Large champions. They also earned that on the girls side as well. And then TVL League champs, the 4x400 girls track and field team of Ryan Colleran, Lindsay Bannister, Susanna Rockers, and Mavie Gavin. More great achievements at another tremendous athletic program, Westwood High School.
Yeah, so I mean, this is easy to talk about for me. I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but tremendous spring season for Westwood. TVL champs for, as you said, boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, also baseball. They were co-champs with Holliston and beat Holliston to make that happen on senior night. So a terrific fashion. But some milestones that happened for boys lacrosse. Dante Martucci got his 100th point on senior night, which was terrific. And then, we had mentioned once previously, but girls track, by the way, Tom, Taya Pagnotti broke a school record in the TVLs, I believe, a week ago, which is an incredible accomplishment. I think this is a record that had been in basically the record books for like 25 years or so, 25 plus years. So remarkable accomplishment in addition to, the team of Ryan Collar and Lindsay Bannister, Susanna Rockers. Tom, this was a team that won the state championship for cross country, and they have a lot of those runners involved, and they are speedsters.
Holliston Panthers sharing the TVL large title with the Westwood Wolverines. And Morgan, I think you folks at Westwood Media Center, you got to make one of these nice pictures so we can put it on the
We
show.
do. Yeah.
A nice team photo there for Holliston. Both Westwood and Holliston finished 13-3 in the league, and just had tremendous seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think the boys baseball this year was probably the most competitive, and I'd also say the boys and girls tennis, but baseball and tennis are probably the most competitive where there's no like team that's far above everyone, there's no team that's far below everyone, you know. So when you look at it, Westwood, Holliston, Hopkinton, Norwood, and Ashland as well. Ashland beat Holliston in like the second to last game for the opportunity to Westwood when they played Holliston, where it was win and you clinch a share. So I mean, it was a tremendous season for baseball. Shout out to Holliston. Also, shout out to head coach Brian Whalen. You know, been doing a long time for the Wolverines, and you know, a memorable season. And these are teams that are certainly going to make some deep runs come playoffs as well. Very, very talented teams.
All right, here it is. The baseball brackets are out. This is Division II. Westwood and Hopkinton are the teams that are in. Westwood earning the 9th seed. Hopkinton, the 15th seed. Westwood will host Plymouth South in the round of 32. Hopkinton will host Whitman Hanson. Pretty good seedings for Hopkinton and Westwood. Unfortunately, though, they're on the opposite side of the bracket.
Yeah.
So we don't know if we'll see each other in the postseason. Maybe we will in the championship.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
should be some fun games. And, you know, as I always say about the playoffs, any seed could beat any seed. Throw the records out the window.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, these are two teams that I think at the end of the day, you got to have some good pitching depth. Because once your one is done, else do you got in the tank that can help win some games? And, you know, it helps, yeah, if you get the bats going, but you're going to need some stellar pitching when you get a lead that's going to hold that lead and close out a game. So I think both teams have that. I think both teams, if you looked early in the season, there was a lot of questions, but they certainly solidified those questions throughout big games in the TVL. And there's nothing better than when a baseball team in the TVL, you're playing playoff caliber teams throughout the whole season. So it helped out both teams. Westwood had a very strong finish. They lost to a Braintree team, which is a top, I believe, 12 Division One team, and then they had to play Plymouth North the following game, and it was a tournament. They beat Plymouth North, the 1 seed, in a very close game, 3-2 win to go, you know, as their last game going in the playoffs. So a really great win for the Wolverines, which catapult them up to the number 9 spot. And you know, it was a memorable game we had earlier this year between Westwood and Hopkinton, Tom. And you know, I'm sure that there's going to be some potential walk-offs for the playoffs as well. And no one better on the walk-off calls than the big dog over here, Tom Nappy. I saw you did a one versus Natick as well the other day, so that was a memorable one and a terrific memory. I believe
4 hours of memories in that one. Well, you had the game against Natick. That was pretty long itself, but the championship against Franklin, insane. 4 hours, 11 innings, longest game I think I've ever done.
Wow.
Well, actually,
Wow.
no, there was one longer, but I don't have time to get into that right now.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on, Division III baseball, real quick. We got Medfield with the 24th seed. They got a prelim game. Medway, 22 seed. They'll have a prelim game hosting Neshoba. And also in there in the TVL, you got Holliston, who will head to Hanover in the round of 32. Very strong Division III bracket. As always, Dover Sherborne, they are hosting a preliminary game against Groton Dunstable, and Ashland hosting Martha's Vineyard. So very strong bracket as usual. Division III, probably the most competitive. They're all very competitive.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this bracket, it's probably one of the toughest to get a seed in because there's just
Yeah.
so many good teams.
I mean, I really like the TVL teams in this bracket because I think they're a lot better than where they're seated. I've seen all of them play, and they can get the bats going. You know, I'm not sure where what the depth is, you know, pitching wise, but all these teams can get the bats going, and all of them have had big wins. You know, Westwood had a loss to Medway and a loss to Dover Sherborne, extra inning game. And those are Westwood's a good team, and you
Hopkinton
know,
lost to DS as well.
yeah, Hopkinton lost to DS. So these are all teams that, you know, have beaten some good D2 teams, you know, beating the 9 seed and the 15 seed. So these are definitely teams, you know, that are not going to surprise me making a deep run. They're all very well coached. They've been doing it for, you know, a bit. And these are guys who, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of hockey players on the team. So guys who've played in a state championship for hockey. guys who have played in big games where they know how to deal with the nerves and get it done, and they just want to get. They'd like to thrive when the stages and the lights are the brightest. So definitely looking forward to this Division three bracket for baseball. So many talented TVL baseball teams.
Absolutely. And the only other TVL bracket is Division 5, where you got Millis. They'll be hosting Madison Park. We'll keep it
Yeah.
moving along to softball. We got the Division 1 or Division 2 bracket here. You got Norwood on the road in Stoughton.
Yeah.
And also in this bracket, Hopkinton, the number 2 seed. And you got Westwood, same side of the bracket in this one as the
Yes.
7th seed.
Yes.
They're hosting
That's
Whitman Hanson. Perhaps we'll have a Hopkinton Westwood quarterfinal.
if there is, who the two guys will be, in there, trying to call that game is that would be fun. And also keep an eye out too, boys lacrosse. There might be a potential matchup between Westwood and Hopkinton as well. So we've done some collaborations, Tom, and those have been fun. And I can't imagine what one would be in the playoffs, but I've seen Hopkinton play, a few different times, and they are so talented. With just the bats, the pitching and the fielding too. Like, it's incredible. One of the best shortstops I've ever seen play the game, Holly Paharik. And when they get the bats going too, they can win run rules regularly. Westwood, same. Westwood, super talented. One of the most talented athletes to ever come through Westwood High School athletics is the pitcher, Bridget Mulkeen. She's closing in on 800 career strikeouts, Tom. I think she's at
Wow.
786. So if she gets 14 in the next game, which is very doable because that's what she's basically averaging, she will hit the 800 mark. But some really terrific bats. Sasha Marino, who's going to play hockey at the next level at Assumption, amazing bat. Bridget Mulkeen, incredible with the bat in her hand. Abby Johnson, Amelia O'Neill. Those are the four captains. They're absolutely terrific, and they got a bunch of freshmen too. So it's like they're doing this with, some really talented seniors and a really really bright future ahead with these talented freshmen too. So looking forward to this playoffs and the matchups and the potential matchup between Westwood and Hopkinton.
Absolutely. And just running through these real quick. Medway hosted Cardinal Spellman. This is the Division 3 bracket. Medfield, they'll host Boston Latin in the prelims. They got the 25th seed. Very competitive Division 3 bracket on the softball side as well. Dedham hosting Belchertown. So it should be a good battle in this bracket. Norton got the 2 seed. They'll host the winner of Blackstone Valley and Lowell Classic. Then in Division 4, you got Bellingham. They'll travel to Clinton in a round of 32 game. And last but not least, Division 5, you got Millis on the right side of the bracket, hosting a round of 32 game against Mount Greylock. So Morgan, to close it out, should be a great playoff time of season. And of course, you can check out all the TVL brackets at tvlsports.net, the website. We got them all listed for you. And we'll be updating scores and what all the TVL teams are doing throughout the postseason. But Morgan, any closing thoughts?
No, I'd say keep an eye out. There's no better coverage when it comes to TVL sports and passion for this great league than Mr. Tom Nappy. I remember you covering a Medway playoff hockey game, where you have no dog in the fight besides just being a fan of the TVL, and that was incredible. And I'd say don't be surprised if you see either one of us at TVL playoff games covering it, looking to do maybe potential post-game interviews and really capturing these moments in time for our special league and the special teams and high schools that are in it. So I'm looking forward to it. There's nothing better than TVL teams in the playoffs. And I got a feeling about some state championships that will be coming back to these schools. That's sure I could basically guarantee one definitely is going to come back to Medfield, if not two.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, perhaps we'll see each other in the postseason. But Morgan, as always, great talking to you, and we'll be keeping in touch throughout the postseason with some more great stories from around the team. The Hopkinton Hillers boys tennis team finished the regular season with a perfect 18-0 record and clinched the 2 seed in the Division II state tournament. The Hillers battled 32nd seed Whitman Hanson in the round of 32 and took the win via a 5-0 sweep to improve to 19-0 and advance to the round of 16. We caught up with the captains after their playoff win. You had your first round of 32 playoff match today. How'd it go out there?
It went great. I mean, they weren't the strongest team, but it's okay because, we always just play our best tennis. And we were able to finish fairly quickly, which was nice. The weather held up too, which is also a big plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to build good habits early on in the tournament, and we kind of identified some of the mistakes we made, so we'll hit the courts again tomorrow to fix them before the next round.
Yeah, to reiterate what Risha was saying, we are spotting like some of the mistakes, and we're just gonna work on them to make sure we're ready for the next tougher matches that we'll have later down the tournament.
All right, so you guys have had an incredible season, undefeated, TVL Large champions. I mean, how's that all feel? That must feel great.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, it's the first time that a boys tennis team has done it at Hopkinton, so we're quite proud of that, and we're just hoping to carry that momentum forward and maybe take the tournament.
I think it's definitely brought us super close as a team. I mean, being undefeated is I think crazy, especially we play some Division I teams that are really, really strong. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really just given us fire. It's given us energy, and we're taking that and we're going to use it towards the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, it's obviously something we strive for, hitting the courts every day at practice, but over the past few years, we've lost certain games in the regular season, but to come out this year and perform at that level, I think it's really exceeding our expectations, so just carrying that momentum forward.
So now the only thing you got to do is win a state championship, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it been like playing with this group all season long? You guys seem like a close-knit team.
Yeah, it's honestly been great. I've known these guys since my freshman year, and being captains and mentor, because we have a relatively new team too. We have 7 or 8 first-year varsity members, and really showing them how it's done has been really great and a great experience overall.
Yeah, I think the combination of having some of the more experienced players on the team, like us, and then some of the others, and then also a lot of new faces, it's brought a new energy to the team. So I think that combination has really just helped us get a good momentum going, I guess.
I think as well, to add on to what Rich had said, we have a lot of different personalities on this team, and I think with all the diversity that we have, we're able to we have such a great group, and we kind of bounce off each other super well, and our chemistry is through the roof, not only as a team, but as friends.
All right, and let's see, I know the ultimate goal is, of course, to win a state championship, but is there anything else that you're looking to achieve on this playoff run?
I'm hoping for just phenomenal tennis, honestly. State champs would be amazing, so good, but I think what really matters is if we play our heart out and, minimize errors, cut down on unforced errors, and just play super, super well, and we're all happy with how he played, then I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, I think obviously winning the state tournament is the end goal, but we focus on match to match. What can we do for the next round to make sure that we're playing our best tennis, minimizing errors, and getting better? Because we still have to get better from now to further rounds. So just focusing on that instead of having that end goal in mind, obviously, but one step at a time.
Yeah, something else that I think we're also focusing on as senior captains is also making sure we're leaving a good legacy. And so we have some good freshmen, and we're hoping that by playing with them, by mentoring them and so on, we'll be able to make sure that they can continue to succeed as we've had this season into the next season, especially given that Hopkinton is going to be D1 next year, so that's going to be a new challenge.
It's a hard-working group, and we've had a few of them that have been with us for 4 years, many of them that have been with us for 3. So they certainly understand what the standard is here, and they seem to elevate that year after year after year. So this year we've got some senior heavy guys, occupying the 2, 3, and the double spots there. So they're a group that have been with us for a while that certainly understand how to get it done and have proven to get it done this year. So it's been a lot of fun to see how much they've improved over the last few years and seeing the hard work that they put in really come to fruition for them.
And if I'm not mistaken, your captains, they were here the last couple years as well on those impressive runs that you guys had. Back here this year, hoping to, of course, make the ultimate run and get to that next level in the postseason. Just talk about these captains you have this season and the leadership they provide.
Yeah, they've been with us for a few years. Some of them have been with us, if I can say it, been with us for 4, and one of them has been with us for 3. And like I mentioned earlier, they know what it takes to get there. They've been there before, and like you mentioned, we feel like we've been very close getting there and being that last one standing. Last few years seem like we've gotten bounced out of the semifinals a couple times, and I think the quarterfinals last year. So the group definitely has some experience. They know what it takes. They're not resting on any laurels of the 18-0 season that we had so far. We've talked about that. Once the postseason starts, it's survive and advance. You turn the page, and today was a good match. It showed how good these guys were compared to some of the other teams out there. But we certainly know that it only gets more challenging from here. They understand that, and they can't wait to get on the tennis courts tomorrow to get even better for the next match.
All right, and your captains mentioned there's a number of different personalities on the team this year, some new guys. Can you talk about some of the new guys and this team's chemistry?
Sure. They've all they get together off the courts, right? They do their dinners. They go out for ice cream all the time. We've got a couple freshmen that have come in, and they've proven to be some really good players. We were fortunate, I would say, to have a gift this year that we got from Germany. We have a German exchange student in Max that's been with us this year. I get an email from him sometime, I don't know, somewhere in the ballpark of a year ago asking about tennis. So we quickly hooked him up with the captains that we have, and he was out here playing during the fall, playing some fall tennis with them. So he's proven to be not such a fierce competitor inside the fence, but you get him outside the fence, he's such an easygoing guy. The kids all get along with him really well. He's mentioned before how fortunate he is to be here to play some team tennis, because they don't get a lot of that back in Germany. But I'll tell you that he's been a gift for us, and the kids magnetize towards him, and it's a diverse group of kids that all get together really, really well.
All right, and obviously the ultimate goal is the state championship. But what are you looking to see out of this team during this postseason run?
Just compete, right? And they've done that all year, regardless of who we're playing. And I would tell you that a lot of our toughest competition comes during our practices, and they come and they bring it practice every day. They look at each other, I think, during practices as more as training partners as opposed to teammates. They get as competitive as they possibly can during those practices, and it really makes for fun and engaging practices where I feel like they just continue to set the bar higher and higher every time they go out and hit a tennis ball. And that's really the name of the game. It's not necessarily taking a look at winning certain, whether it's a league or advancing from that perspective, but just trying to get better with every tennis ball that we hit. And I think at the end of the year we'll be sitting in a pretty good place and looking back and saying we gave it everything that we had.
All right, Coach. Congratulations on the win today, and hopefully many more to come.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
This program is brought to you in part by tvlsports.net. You can view the standings, stories, pictures, highlights, and more about the 12 teams in the Tri-Valley League at tvlsports.net. tvlsports.net is an independent news and media website reporting on the TVL and is not associated with the MIAA, Tri-Valley League, or any town or school.